real change in Scarborough. It can make people who presently aren't looking at investing here make the decision to invest here and to decide something we already know, which is this is just as good a part of town in terms of talented people, great location, great neighbourhoods, great retail, great existing business infrastructure, great education, great residences. I mean, need I go on? But those things already exist. If those didn't exist, we'd have a problem, because we'd have to sort of look at revitalizing this entire part of the city before anybody would come and invest here. I'm not saying it's the only thing that's missing, but I think the investment in public transportation is one of the key things that is missing. And I think, fortunately, people have recognized some other things that we have to update that also have been the subject of underinvestment, like in healthcare, where I think there's a recognition of that from the very expert panel that has been convened and that has written its report. Right now, 13,000 Scarborough residents live within 500 metres of transit stations. With the new network I've shown you today, that number will increase to 64,000. 55,000 more people will be able to reach the University of Toronto's Scarborough campus in 45 minutes or less by the TTC. 170,000 more people will be able to get to the Scarborough Centre, the civic centre of Scarborough, including the Scarborough Town Centre, by transit in 45 minutes or less. People will be able to get on the Crosstown line in Scarborough and ride it right to the airport without getting off. So I just think these things, including in particular the express subway extension to Scarborough Town Centre, will lead to highly renewed interest. And I intend to try to show some leadership in that by saying that there is no reason at all, as I mentioned earlier, that we can't have more of a presence of the civic government here, because it's a good place for us to be doing business as a city government. And I think when other people, when I call them developers, I mean that in the broadest sense, commercial, residential, retail, and anything else in between, when they see us putting the shovels in the ground to build this public transportation, and when they see us hopefully putting the shovel in the ground to locate some other parts of the civic government out here, I think they're going to be soon to follow. But they need to have the certainty of knowing that we're actually going to get on with that job. So I am here today to ask you to try to help me say that the debates, the endless debates, the endless changing of mind, the endless division, that time is over, that it's time to move forward. There's still an opportunity for people to participate in all the fine-tuning of these plans as we go forward. But I think that if we want to develop Scarborough the way we do, if we want to have one Toronto where there isn't a part of the city that feels underdeveloped, and in fact is underdeveloped and underinvested in when it comes to transit and healthcare and a number of other areas, then it's time to do something about it. And I think the something about it is not going to be achieved by endless debates that go on and on. And so I'm asking you, everybody has to put a little bit of water in their wine, but I think what we end up with nonetheless is an excellent transit network, both for Scarborough and for the city as a whole, and that does include every mode of transit, so that we're using those to the maximum extent that we should in the context of a viable, achievable, affordable transit plan. And the affordability question has to be taken into account in all of this. And I believe what that will do is it will properly connect Scarborough to the rest of Toronto, not just for the sake of that connection in and of itself, but also to give people faster ways to get to and from work. And I hope that does mean, in many, many more cases, that people are deciding, for all the reasons we understand, to live downtown, where a lot of that action is down there with the entertainment and the sports and so on, but to work out here, or to live here because there's a great quality of life here, and to work downtown if that's where the opportunity is available. And I believe this will be a huge kickstart to investment in Scarborough and to the achievement of all the dreams that you have and that I have too for Scarborough. I'm part of Team Scarborough. I'm the leader of Team Toronto, but I'm part, by definition, of Team Scarborough, because a strong, fair, just, prosperous Scarborough is going to be a part of a strong, fair, just, prosperous Toronto. And in fact, we can't have the latter, a strong, fair, just, prosperous Toronto, without Scarborough being even stronger than it already is. And so I sought this office to try to restore unity, to try to restore respect and respectful decision-making in the city, but also to address the unmet needs that I think have been holding us back. I now think it is Scarborough's time to move forward, and I'm asking for your help so that we can make that happen. Thank you for your attention.